Okay, so good day to everyone, and today we will start with GATE uh, GATE 2018 machines questions, electric machines. Okay, so today we will start with this. Okay, so let us start with this first question. Okay, yeah. So you can always visit the links in the description if you are having some difficulty in concepts. Okay, let us read the question. A single phase 100 kVA, single phase, single phase 100 kVA. Okay, just see how I am approaching the question. 1000 by 100 volts, 50 hertz transformer has a voltage drop of 5% across its voltage drop of 5% across its series impedance at full load. Okay, so total series impedance, we know it has included both resistance and inductance. Okay, so the voltage drop is given as 5%. Okay, so see, there's this concept that, okay, and of this 3% is due to resistance. Okay, the percentage regulation of the transformer at full load with 0.8 lagging power factor. So it has asked the voltage regulation. See, by reading this question, I am getting that I have to apply the formula for voltage regulation of transformer. So voltage regulation of transformer, we have one basic formula, that is V no load minus V full load by V rated, and one formula we have this one, that is what it is R per unit, R per unit value of R into cos phi plus minus X per unit sin phi. Okay, so this is the formula. So here we have plus for lagging power factors, and we have this minus for leading power factors. Okay, so this you should remember. Now see, one thing I have got, that for to me power factor is given, that is, so I have to use here 0.8 and for sin phi will be 0.6. Okay, now you must know that R per unit is also given, that is 3% is due to resistance. See, now you should remember this thing, that see, R per unit is the per unit full load voltage drop across the resistance. Okay, and X per unit is per unit full load voltage drop across reactance, and similarly Z per unit is full load voltage drop across the total impedance. Okay, so that is how you have to tackle this question. If you know these concepts, then you can easily find out. Okay, so R per unit is given to us, that is 0.03. Always remember, you never use percentage values. Okay, and Z per unit is given to you as 0.05. Now you have to calculate X per unit. Okay, so it will be, remember, these are the vectors. Okay, and I hope you know that X plus R plus JX is equal to Z. So I hope you know we can easily calculate X per unit using this relation, that is Z per unit square minus R per unit square. Okay, so on solving it, what you will get X per unit is equal to X per unit will come out to be 0.04 per unit. Okay, and your now you can easily apply this voltage regulation formula. Oops, sorry, I don't know why I make that square root sign. It won't be there in the formula of voltage regulation. So the voltage regulation formula will be R per unit cos phi. R per unit is 0.03, cos phi 0.8 plus X per unit, Y plus, because it is lagging, X per unit will be what, 0.04 into 0.6. So on solving this, you will get 4.8% voltage regulation. Okay, so 4.8 is the answer. Okay, so you have to tackle this question. If you know this relation, then you can go forward to it. Okay. So this question is done. Now let us move to the next question of GATE 2018. Okay, so GATE 2018. Now here the question is given as separately excited DC motor. Okay, so separately excited DC motor, one thing that immediately comes to my mind is that the flux is constant. Has an armature resistance RA is equal to 0.05 ohms. Okay, RA is equal to 0.05 ohms. Okay, the field excitation is kept constant. Okay, field excitation is kept constant and is separately excited also. At an armature voltage of 100 volts. Armature voltage means the supply voltage. Okay. The motor produces a torque of what? 500 Newton meter. Okay. At zero speed. See, this is important. It is given at that when it is supplied by 100 volt supply, then these things happen. The torque is 500 Newton meter and speed is 0. N is speed here. Okay. Neglecting all the mechanical losses, the no load speed of the motor. See, whenever there comes this no load speed, okay, always remember this concept of the motor in radian per second for an armature voltage of 150 volts. Okay, now he is asking that when you apply V is equal to 150 volts, then what is the speed? Okay, yeah, it is and it is the no load speed. This we have to find out. Now it is a separately excited DC motor. Okay, so I hope you know the equivalent circuit. Always remember the equivalent circuit of any motor. Yeah, so it is given to us as 100 volts and here it is given to us as EA. EA is not given to us. Okay, let me mark it as E1 and what else is given? RA is given to us. RA is what? RA is given as 0.05 ohms. Okay, so now he is trying to ask what is the speed at this thing. Okay, so now how to tackle this question. Okay, so now let us see this first case. Okay, so I'm seeing this first relation. What can I get from this? See, I have told you for any motor, or you must know this, that is E is equal to K phi n. Here the flux is constant, so E directly proportional to n. Okay, so now here for this case, that is speed is 0. So your E1 is also equal to 0. So one thing I inferred from the given things is this. Now another thing is that is torque is also given to me. So what can I write? I can write in this fashion. Torque is equal to K phi I. Again, so torque is given to us 500. K phi I. I is given to me or not given to me? Okay, I can calculate, I think. Okay, I is not given to me. So I can easily calculate by applying the KVL in this. See, when you apply the KVL in this loop, then what will you get? You will get 100 is equal to E is 0, but actually the equation is this, but E is 0 here. So 100 is equal to IA is, you have to find out, RA you know 0.05. So IA is equal to 100 by 0.05. Okay, this is your IA. So it comes out to be anything, it doesn't matter much now. Now from here I can use this thing. Let me say, okay, let me denote it by something different. Okay, yeah, let me say it equation P. Okay, now using, and let me say this equation as Q. Now putting IA from P in Q, what I will get this K phi. That is what? K phi will come out to be 500 by this thing. So my K phi will come out to be 1 by 4. Okay, see why I am doing these things, because see, I have to calculate the speed, and I know there is one relation which relates speed and E is equal to K phi n. Okay, so now I have told you that this K phi, or you know, if you don't know, then you must remember this, that E is equal to K, this K phi and this K phi is the same. Okay, so I have calculated the K phi value. It is constant for separately excited DC motor. Okay, so now for the second case, let us start with the second case. Okay, now here, what is the meaning of no load? When the motor is at no load, what does it mean? Okay, so from the power flow diagram of the motor, see, if you are not aware of this, then you can visit the links in the description. See, what you can get is, see, no load means that the power developed in a practical motor, it is ideal motor, I am neglecting all mechanical losses. Okay, so actually the power developed is P shaft plus mechanical losses. Okay, but in this question the mechanical losses are given as 0. So your P developed is equal to P shaft, and here P shaft is 0. See, this is the meaning of no load. Okay, this is the meaning of no load. So now P shaft is equal to 0, and so this means that P developed is equal to 0. This means that P developed is what? E into, let me say this times E2, and this time the current is I2. E2 I2 is equal to 0. So this implies that what? Your I2 is 0, because E2 cannot be 0. It is a back EMF thing. Okay. So I2 is 0. So for the second case, your I2 is 0. So now I think I should insert a page. So for second case, the beautiful thing that you get is that, see, your motor was like this. Okay, your supply in the second case was what? 150 volts. Okay, and your RA is given as 0.05 ohms, and this is your E. So you find out that I2 is 0. That is the meaning of the no loop. So what does it means? That V is equal to E plus IA or I2 into R. So your V is equal to E2 only. So that is, your E2 is what? 150 volts. So see, now what all you have got? Now you have to find the motor speed at, in this case only. Let me denote it by N2. That is, you have to find out. Okay, so now we have to find this N2. So I have already told you E2 can be written as K phi N2. Okay, so here, from here you can easily find this. E2 we know E2 is what? 150. K5 we have calculated 1 by 4, and now we can find this N2. So N2 will be what? N2 will be 600 RPM. Okay, so now you get this. So in every DC motor question, you should remember few things. Okay, what you should remember is that you must always remember this circuit of every in every question of DC motor, and you should remember these two equations. Somehow you have to manipulate or use these two equations to calculate things. Okay, so the answer for this question is 600 RPM. Okay, so it's done. So that is the answer. Okay, so let us move to the next question. GATE 2018. Okay, so now in this question, what is given is salient pole synchronous motor. Okay, there are a few formulas that you should remember for salient pole synchronous machines, and you will get most of the questions. Okay, the developed reluctance torque attains the maximum value when the load angle in electrical decreases. Okay, so we have to find when the torque is maximum and at what load angle. Okay, so see, this is the equation that you should always remember for the power in the salient pole synchronous machines. That is EV by XT sine delta. Okay, this delta is only the load angle yours. Okay, and plus, I will write it in different color, the main part, that is v square by 2 1 upon x cube minus 1 upon x d into sine 2 delta. Okay, so see, this represents the reluctance power. And this part represents the electromagnetic power. Okay, so in this question, what is it asked from you is that when the reluctance torque attains the maximum value, see, we all see this is the reluctance power expression. So let me say, write it as P reluctance will be what? Torque reluctance into the speed. Okay, so we can say that is torque reluctance will be P reluctance by omega. Here it will be synchronous motor, so it will be synchronous speed. Okay, so from this relation you can write it down as v square by 2 omega s 1 upon x cube minus 1 upon x t sine 2 delta. Okay, so here the power angle is 2 delta. The power angle is delta, that is the load angle is delta. Load angle and power angle is same, always remember this. Okay, so now see, now it's very simple. It is asked that attains the maximum value. We know the value, this expression will be maximum when your this 2 delta will be maximum. So 2 delta will be, sine is maximum at 90 degrees. So 2 delta is equal to 90 degrees. So delta is equal to 45 degrees. So at delta is equal to 45 degrees, this torque will be maximum. So this is the answer. Okay, so that is how you need to approach such questions. Just remember a few formulas, and you can always visit the links in description if you are not aware of these. Okay, yeah, okay, now the next question is for GATE 2018. The equivalent circuit of a single phase induction motor. Okay, it is given as single phase induction motor. See, from this statement only I remember two circuits, that is the circuit of single phase induction motor at no load and circuit of induction motor when it is running. Okay, so where the parameters R1 R2 are given to us as these. At no load the motor speed, okay, it's saying that at no load the motor speed can be approximated to be synchronous speed. Okay, the no load lagging power factor we have to find out. See, now after looking this circuit and after reading this question, one thing is very much clear to me, that there will be some role of this. It is asking no load lagging power factor, and at no load the motor speed is given as synchronous speed. So here there is a slip term. Okay, now I hope you know that slip is ns minus nr by ns. Ns is synchronous speed and the motor speed is nr. So at no load the motor speed is approximated as synchronous, so s will be 0. So when I put s is equal to 0 here, so this branch will become infinite. Okay, and when I put it will become r2 dash by 4. Okay, so simple. This the equivalent circuit will be somewhat like this. How I have put the values here. I will put values later. See, this part will become open circuit because this will become infinity, and this is in this fashion. Yeah, and this is the circuit. Now here the R1 is given as what? 12 ohms. This XM, no, it's X1, XL1, so it will be 12 ohms, or I should write it in this fashion. Always remember to write it in complex terms, or just remember these things. These are basics. And this expression will come out J120. Why? Because 240 by 2. This also will come out J120. This resistance will come out to be 3, I guess. 12 by 4 is 3. And this will come out to be J6. Okay. So now this question see now what we have to do. See, we have to find the lagging power factor. So power factor you can easily find out if you are given impedance angle, if you are given impedance. So for this circuit we will find the equivalent impedance, and then we will to find the power factor we will find the angle tan inverse of the angle will be tan inverse imaginary part upon the real part. Okay, so I hope you can easily find the Z equivalent of this circuit. Okay, so if you are not aware of this concept, then you can always visit the links in the description. So the Z equivalent will come out to be 14.71 plus J 137.77. Okay, something. Now the power factor angle can be found out by using this 137.77 by 14.7 and the cos of this. So cos of this will give me my power factor angle, and that will come out to be 0.1062. Okay, so I hope you can do the calculations yourself. So this is the answer. Okay, now let us see this next question. Okay, so GATE 2018, we are doing electrical machines questions. Okay, so here what is given? It is given at us to as 3-phase 900 kVA 3 by root 3 kV. Okay, and it is given to us as delta star. Okay, always in 3-phase questions, the major mistake that you can do is that you can take some mistake in taking phase voltages and line voltages. Okay, so you have to remember those things only. And the frequency is given as 50 Hertz. The resistance of the high voltage side is RHV 0.3 ohms. It's per phase. Yeah, it's per phase. Okay, these are important things. And the low voltage side resistance is given to us as 0.02 ohms per phase. Okay, the iron loss of the transformer PI is also given to us as 10 kilowatt. Yeah, 10 kilowatt. And the full load percentage efficiency of the transformer operated at UPF. Now the transformer is operated at UPF and we have to find the efficiency. Okay, so this is the question given to us. Now let us try solving it. See, one thing that comes to my mind is it is asking the efficiency, and that to full load efficiency. Okay, so I have to apply this. See, your objective is problem solving. Always remember this. No matter how much theory you read, but if you are not able to solve problems, you cannot do anything in GATE. Okay, so problem solving is must. So eta will be, the formula is for, it's given at full load, so I will directly write the formula, that is kVA cos phi divided by kVA cos phi. This is the general formula for full load, plus P iron losses plus P copper losses. Yeah, it's P copper losses. Okay, so now in this question what I have been given, see, my power factor is 1, my kVA is 900, so this term also 900, this term is 1, PI is given to me as 10 kilowatts. Okay, so these are the things. Now I have to calculate this PCU so that I could calculate the efficiency. Okay, so now let us calculate this PCU. Okay, so PCU you can easily calculate. See, the copper losses, you can yeah, see, what are copper losses? Copper losses are the winding copper losses, that is I square R loss, and we are given the resistances of the windings, and remember this is per phase. So to find you first have to find the per phase copper losses of each winding, and then you have to multiply it by 3. Remember, it is 3 phase, and to find that you have to find the per phase full load current. Okay, so that is the strategy that I will use. So to find the per phase full load current, first what can you do? See, you are given 900 kVA. you know it will be what? It's a 3-phase, and you are given the line voltages, always remember. So root 3 VL into IL. Now let us first solve for the HV side. Okay, so for HV side, it's 900 will be same. Your HV side is delta connected, so VL and V phase will be same, so it doesn't matter, into 3. Okay, VL will be 3 into IL. Okay, your IL will come out in amps. Okay, so your IL will come out to be 900 by 3 root 3 amps. Okay, so now I will take for LV side. So your LV side will be 900, again root 3, and you have to put the, see, remember this is now the star connection. Okay, so your these are the line voltages only, so it will be root 3 into what? This is IL HV. Okay, and root 3 into root 3, this is root 3 into VL is root 3 for LV side, and LV I have to find out here. I was finding out HV. Okay, so your IL LV here comes out to be 900 by 3, that is 300 amps. So now remember, for copper losses you have to first find the per phase copper losses. So these are the line currents. So for delta connection, your I phase will be, I phase HV will be what? I line into root 3, that will be 300 amps. Oops, I make a mistake there. It will be I phase HV, and it is for the delta. So I phase HV will be ILV by root 3. So it will come out to be 900 divided by 3 into root 3 into root 3. That then it will come out to be 100 amps. Okay, so just put below 100 amps. The answers are correct only. Just by mistake I have written that 300. Okay, answer will be same as given in the video. Okay, and your this I phase LV will be, it will be same as I line LV because it is a star connection, so it will be again 300 amps only. Okay, so now this much is given to you. Now your copper losses, I will write it down with some other color. Your copper losses will be, yeah, your copper losses will be, see, 3 into for high phase, high voltage side, that will be, what is the I phase of HV side? 300 square into what is the resistance? 0.3 plus 3 into yeah, let me write it with some other color so that you won't confuse, plus your 3 into LV side current is 300 square into what is the LV side resistance? 0.02. Okay, it is 0.02. Okay, so yes, so what your P copper losses will come out to be 14.4. So on solving this, you will get 14.4 kilowatts. Okay, now you just put this value here, and on putting this value you will get your eta will be equal to let me write it down here. Your eta will finally come out to be 97.36%. Okay, so that will be your answer. That is how 97.36%. So that will be efficiency. So in this question, the major important thing is these things, that is line voltage and phase values of currents according to delta and star connection. Okay, so I hope you get these things. Okay, so now the last question for GATE 2018 electric machines. 200 volt DC series motor that is given to us, 200 volts rating when operated from rated voltage. Okay, it's operating from 200 volts only, that is our supply voltage. Driving a certain load draws 10 ampere current. Okay, it is a series motor. Okay, so let me draw a series motor. See, you can take it as R series, and let me say this is the resistance of armature, and this is the motor, and this is our supply of 200 volts as given. This rated voltage while driving a certain load draws 10 amperes. Okay, so it is drawing a current of 10 amps given, runs at 1000 rpm. Okay, the total series resistance. Okay, it is given total series resistance. So total series resistance means combining these two. So on combining these two, it is given 1 ohms. The magnetic circuit is assumed to be linear. Okay, that is, there is no saturation in this motor at the same supply voltage. Now he is asking that at the same supply voltage, let me say it is V1, and at the same supply voltage, that is again at 200 volts, the torque is increased by 44%. Let us say initially the torque was X. Okay, so now the load torque, that is the load torque, is now increased by 44%. That is, it will be 144 by 100 X. Okay, the speed of the motor in RPM. Now under this conditions we have to find the speed, and this was, let me write it with the same color. Yeah, N1 was given to us as 1000 rpm. Okay, and the current I1 was also given as 10 amps. Okay, so all these things are given, and this is a DC series motor. Okay, now he is asking us to find the speed of the motor. So I have told you that is the question of finding speed, and it is a series motor. Okay, so one thing I am very much sure, that is, if you are finding speed, then somewhere you need to use these relation. E is equal to K phi n, and since it is a DC series motor, so phi directly proportional to I, so E is equal to K I n. Okay, so for DC series motor, this is the relation, and torque is equal to K phi I, but it is a DC series motor, so again here the torque will be equal to Ki square. Okay, so these two equations are valid for DC series motor. So this we have to somehow use and find the N2. Okay, so now let us see what is given to us and how could we find it. Okay, so to find the N, I have to find E in the both the cases. Okay, so for the first case, I1 is given to me as 10 amps. Okay, so can I find E here? So let us apply the KVL. Let me say it is the first case. Okay, so first case, V200 is equal to E plus 10 into 1. So E will come out to be 190 volts. Okay, that, let me set as E1. Okay, yeah. Now for the second case, I have to find out again E. Okay, I hope you are getting how I am approaching the question. You just write down the questions and then you can easily move. Okay, writing down is essential. Okay, so please just keep your pen moving. Okay, so yeah, second, yes, yeah. So I will apply the KVL again. The supply voltage is 200 volts only. This time I am finding E2 plus IA into RA. I don't know here. Okay, I2 I am not knowing, and R series is 1 ohms. So I have to find I2 also. So now let me use this equation to find the I2. So tau 1 is x. So I can use this equation, tau 1 by tau 2 is equal to I1 square by I2 square. So from here I can easily find out, putting the values of tau 1. Tau 1 is x, tau 2 is what? 144 x by 100 is equal to I1 square is 100, I2 square. So from here I will get I2. What I2 I will get? Yeah, I have written it somewhere. Yes, I will get I2 as 12 amps. Okay. So now I have to put this I2 here. So when I put this I2 here, so I will get as E2 will be 200 minus 12, that is 188 volts. Okay. So now I can easily apply this equation. See, E1 by E2, let me do it with some other color. E2 by E1 is equal to KIN. K is constant obviously, so I can use this I2 N2 I1 N1. So on putting the values, I hope you know the values. See, E1 you know, E2 you know, I2 you know, I1 you know. So only your N2 is N1 also you know. Yes. Where is it? Yes. N1 also you know. So your N2 is only left here. Okay. Yes, N2 you, so N2, on putting all the values you will find out N2 as what? 824.56, and you have to round it to nearest integer. 824.56 rpm, and on rounding it to nearest integer you will get it as 825 rpm. So this is the answer. So I hope you get the idea how do I approach this question, and this is all for this video. And if you are having some problems in concepts or you are finding it difficult, then you can visit the links in the description, and there you can get the things. Okay, so this is all from my side. Please like, share, subscribe Electrical Diaries, and visit electricaldiaries.in for more. Okay, so bye, and hope you are doing good.